Was Star Wars Squadrons any good? I bounced off this one back in 2020, but I dusted off my PlayStation VR and gave it another go. And holy crap, this is a totally different experience in VR. I know it's the same graphics and assets, but there's something about being able to look around the cockpit that makes all the little details stand out. I grew up with Star Wars. I'm still a huge fan, and I geek out over a lot of Star Wars stuff on a pretty regular basis. So to experience something that actually conjures up that childlike wonder is no small feat. That being said, this game is a one-trick pony. It does dogfights and simple spaceflight missions very well, but that's all it does. There are hangar scenes between missions, but even in those, your feet are basically bolted to the floor. There's no roaming or exploring or doing anything until you're back in the cockpit. But about that space combat, this is good stuff. They know you came here for the dogfights and the bombing runs, and this game does not disappoint. Diverting power between shields, engines, and weapons is an interesting mechanic pulled straight from the old X-Wing PC games back in the 90s. It's a system that adds a light touch of strategy to your flying around without making things too complicated or overwhelming. The story is actually pretty good and takes place not long after the events of Return of the Jedi, which means the last remnants of the Empire are trying to hang on while the New Republic is taking shape. As a player, you split time between playing pilots in a New Republic squadron, as well as one in a squadron for the Empire. It was a really interesting way to tell the story, but it seems like the opposing squadrons could have had a little more direct conflict. I felt like the game was building up to an epic showdown that just never ended up happening. As for multiplayer, as of January 2023, it's a shadow of its former self, much like the Empire in this story. The game is no longer supported and the player counts are pretty thin, so I didn't spend much time there. So is it any good? I'd say if you're not playing it in VR, it's a pretty solid meh, even at the reduced price tag. But if you do have access to a VR setup and you are a Star Wars fan, like I am, then this game is a must play and gets a giant thumbs up.